The Match Ball.
Hello. Welcome to the show. We're live on YouTube for our TSB Plus members. It's Dan. It's Michael. It's Dean.
Is that you, Dan?
It's top of the league. We're going to be
That was Roy Orbison.
Oh,
If you're on the video version, that'll make sense.
I've just realised with having my sunglasses on, I cannot see the auto cue that has the script on it that I'm supposed to say about Levi Solicitors. You can watch the show later. You can listen in your podcast app. The Match Ball is brought to you with Levi Solicitors. Michael, go ahead.
I'm afraid, can't give the person credit now, but I saw in the YouTube comments a minute ago, someone suggested there's a new big three, but it's Millwall, Oxford and Plymouth, which will do nothing for Levi Solicitors, but, you know the other big three, don't you? Your wills, your probate, your conveyancing.
Great. Football, innit, eh?
That was so much fun. So much fun.
I want to say, I shed a little tear at full time then.
It's funny you said it, and I was like, yeah, I welled up on as well. When it was abnormal high heart rate detected, buzzing on my watch there. Still going on, still having some sort of seizure. Yeah, it was play all the way, was at full time, and I got all like about it. So and it was good. That's what you go for, innit?
Just for the benefit of anybody who wasn't inside Ellen Road, we'll get into it all the goals.
I might have to take my watch off because it just won't stop buzzing. I stopped.
But people might be speculating just because I'm wearing sunglasses, it's just to hide the redness in my eyes. That's all it is, because that was a lot, but in a good way. That the closeout of that game, for the benefit of anybody who wasn't there, if you're there, you'll know exactly what I mean. There's a point in Leeds folklore, and you'll know this probably from being at the Bristol Rovers game, when it's all become too much. The stress is so high, the stakes are so high, and all Ellen Road does is sing. It parks everything else and it sings and it takes the roof off. And that last stage of that game, when everyone clocked, when it went round the crowd that Plymouth had scored again, it went into that mode. It happens so rarely inside a football stadium, but it happened, and it was genuinely a privilege to be there. That was absolutely magical. One of my favourite moments in a long time. There have been some proper highs, ridiculous like celebratory moments, but that collective feeling of something inside Ellen Road just then, it'll stay with me forever. And genuinely, kids, just soak these ones up.
Yeah,
soak them.
It was definitely the moment of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah,
undoubtedly so.
Yeah, I think it started about 75 minutes. For whatever reason, there was some big Patrick Bamford chance, and then he was called back from warming up, took his shirt off, everyone went nuts.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, Plymouth scored. And then a few minutes later, people seemed to say that Plymouth had scored again, but no, everyone went to check the phones, so nobody's phones worked. My dad managed to shuffle a message through to me saying 2-1 Plymouth. Oh my giddy aunt.
Yeah. It was like the olden days when the ripple of the score spreads through
really
the crowd.
was.
Yeah. When people have got radios.
It's mad how it's loads worse than it used to be, because now it's just everyone trying to get phone signal. At least the radio actually worked inside a football stadium. But yeah, I made a note of the minutes. 80 minutes Plymouth score, 87 Plymouth score again. And it just kept it going. And you're at that point as well where the stakes feel so high, because realistically we should have been about 4 or 5-1 up by the point at which Plymouth take the lead. We'd battered them, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Like it was not a close game in the slightest. They had, I think, did they have one shot? No, there was the shot Darlow saved, wasn't there? And there was the goal. I can't actually remember anything else. Oh, no. They had a free kick actually, didn't they? When Carl Darlow went for an interesting little walk.
Who knows that you can come for crosses and outside the box?
It's an option, isn't it?
Because I saw it and I'd done the maths. Like my brain was doing the trigonometry thing, and I was like, "No, he's not. Oh, he is."
And there's one of those. You go, is that a red card, or is it just a yellow? I can't remember.
It's a hard yellow. Got the stats on screen for the YouTubers. 0.33 XG for them. 3 total shots on target, 2, no big chances. And we had an XG coming up for 4, 3.71. 20 shots, 5 shots on target, 5 big chances. So it should, according to that anyway, have been 5.
Yeah, it would have been. It felt like that. Pirro alone on another day probably gets a hat trick there, doesn't he?
And I said before the game, I wanted the win, of course, but I wanted a good performance.
Yeah,
that felt like a good performance.
We really did. We played exceptionally well, and everyone did. I know Pirro missed loads of chances.
Yeah,
but he had his best game in ages as well.
Yeah,
at the same time, and Aronson I thought was good. Everyone played well. Bogle was immense down the right-hand side.
Even though Pirro didn't have a best day in terms of end product, you can see he just needs that goal to go in for him, don't you? He did a lot of work and he did a load of things right as well as being frustrating at times.
I thought bar the first sort of 15 minutes, his link-up play was the best we've seen of him.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball, he was hassling the defenders, he was moving it on, he was finding pockets of space. Credit. When I saw Bamford getting ready to come on, I thought, I really hope this is Aronson, just so that Pirro can carry on doing those things. What a fucking day.
And I'm glad you've not come in here, Dean, and started swinging your dick about saying, I said championship and all those things that annoyed people when we just wanted to feel sad.
Listen.
Fuck your optimism.
No, come on.
Listen, at full time, did 2 people tap me on the back and say the championship's going to championship? Yes.
But can you bring me some assurances that it is now stopped? Is the championship all done for the year?
Consult the odds, Michael.
Can it all just please go to form now? For
You
the
consult the odds, and I'm going to tell
the
you
rest
this.
of the season.
Am I allowed to look at my spreadsheet again now?
Please do.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
It's going to look favourable.
Yeah, what I will say to you is this.
But did the spreadsheet bring us bad luck?
No, it never did. This is a new one. This is just what we need to do from here.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's just basic maths.
Right, so 7 points guarantees promotion. And the most that Sheffield United can get to now is 95, I believe. 7 points guarantees us promotion. That is regardless of what they do against each other on Easter Monday. However, if Burnley win, it's 4 points. If they draw, it's 5. And if Sheffield United win, it's 7. But the best outcome of that game now is a Burnley win, regardless of the rest of it.
All we've ever wanted for the past 2 years is for a team to be cut adrift, isn't it? Just I don't.
Sorry, what I meant to say. It's Sheffield United that we basically need to keep at arm's length, basically. It makes sense for us now to have Burnley win. On Easter Monday,
because there's a bit of jeopardy around who wins the title in that case. But yeah.
I mean, all we need to do is we win our games and we're up. That's the end of the story. It's 2 wins and a draw.
When was that Swansea game?
Oh, a lifetime ago, my friend.
Was that a week ago?
No, it can't be.
No.
2 weeks.
Was it? I don't know.
Was it a week ago?
Was it a week ago?
Swansea was 2 weeks ago today.
That was 2 weeks ago,
We played Luton last Saturday.
Of course we did. We had Luton in there, didn't we, as well? But that felt terrible.
That's only a week ago, and that was horrible.
Yeah, that felt absolutely terrible, didn't it?
I don't know if you know it, but Middlesbrough, that was this week.
Yeah, I know.
That was this week.
That does feel kind of this weeky, actually. I'd forgotten about the Luton game, but yeah, that was ages. That was at least 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Think about how we felt before the Middlesbrough game, and then we get a clean sheet, we get a really well fought 1-0 win, and then today, like you said, bar some bad finishing, we cruise to that win. Football in a week can just shift around.
It's hideous, isn't it? It's hideous.
It's nice amazing.
It's nice when you're on this end of it and you go, "This is fucking brilliant." This genuinely is. These are moments I will remember forever.
But you need the other stuff to make this worthwhile.
I know. But that doesn't mean I have to enjoy the other stuff just because the payoff might be good. But can I just paint a picture for you,
please?
Eddie Gray, Angus Kinnear, loads of the board of the club are in Billy's bar now. Pete Lowe is behind the bar and has just said that his drink's on the house for everyone.
Amazing.
So they obviously feel happy with the outcome today.
Damn my car. Stop celebrating, lads. It's not up yet.
Dear me.
Get fucking heads on.
Heads on.
Still 0-0.
If this is what it feels like being off drugs, I haven't touched a drop of booze. There's been no heavy cocaine use despite the spectacles during
some
daytime.
light. Yeah. Some light use.
just Leeds United being Leeds United as they can be every now and then. And it's just magical.
That table.
Leeds United going to Leeds Unite?
Leeds United are going to unite Leeds.
Do you want to have a look at the table?
Please, Daniel.
Yeah, go on.
There it is.
Woo-hoo!
It's on the stream. If you are on the audio version, what that shows is we are top of the league, boys and girls.
Yeah.
88 points. And 95 will do it this season.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Will 94 do it and our goal difference? Or?
No, 95 is goal difference based.
Right, yeah. Gotcha.
So say all 3 outcomes of the Bank Holiday Monday game now are us, as I was saying before, us chasing Sheffield United. So we're chasing Sheffield United's total now rather than Burnley. So it's either 92, 93 or 95 that they will get, depending on the outcome of that game.
Yeah.
7 points definitely does it. 4 if Burnley win. So we can safely cheer on Burnley on Easter Monday.
Think back to a week ago. We'd just drawn with Luton. Sheffield United had not yet played Oxford, had they? Because they were later in the day. So we'd finished that Luton game thinking, that's a terrible result. We've dropped points there. Since then, Sheffield United have lost 3 games since we drew with Luton. It's insane, isn't it?
Good point on the road.
It was a good point. It was a good point on the road. Maybe he was right. I don't know.
I'm quite happy to say we're idiots. I know that. I know I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm a fan, though. I'm allowed to react like a fan. I'm allowed to not like it when we're shit.
Yeah, agreed.
It feels close, doesn't it? I know it's not over the line yet, and everything. You've written some what?
It's to remind me to update the form.
You're just writing something on your paper.
Just a little reminder to myself.
It's really close. We could go up on Easter Monday.
Yeah.
If we win on Friday.
Yeah.
And then Burnley win and we win, we're up.
Yeah. Well, no. If we win if we draw on Easter Monday and Burnley have beaten Sheffield United, we're up.
Yep.
So yeah, potentially. If we win, basically, if we win next week, we could. Yeah. Oh my God. Do we play before them?
I think we do.
I can't remember the
Easter. We play at 3:00, don't we?
Right.
So, as it stands, are we just going to come in here and stay in here?
Just lock the doors.
If first you got to get through Good Friday, but
hunker down like it's a bad winter.
Yeah.
Get some tins in.
You bring some soup.
There's Good Friday to come first, and a difficult trip to Oxford. We know how hard it is, as Sheffield United have proved. So
yeah,
but they're a Finnish club as well. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Wilder.
Have we
spoken about Wilder?
No, we haven't.
Scrapping with Darko JB in the tunnel at Home Park this afternoon. So we spoke this week in the run up to this, and again, I told you off there, Dean, for coming in and saying you were right. Although I am going to say I'm right. I have been forever concerned by Chris Wilder's lack of emotional control.
Yeah.
When you contrast it with what you just said there, Michael, about Farke post Luton, maybe he was right. But we've never claimed to be anything other than the fools.
He might have been wrong as well, because Sheffield United could have just won these games, and then we'd have had a problem. But as it is, absolutely no one saw this coming.
No.
I know that for all the Championship, 3 defeats in a row is Dan. You'd have that on your spreadsheet. When was the last time Sheffield United lost 3 games in a row? It'd be Premier League.
I don't think it's happened this season.
Yeah, it'll be last season.
What I'm going to say is, when we've done propaganda, we've heard the Sheffield United fans saying we're not really playing well.
No.
And so maybe they saw it coming.
And I say, if you look on like Wacko and stuff, people have been saying that all season. Like, it's amazing how badly they've played, and it kept digging out results.
Yeah.
It feels like we've spoken a lot about chickens coming home to roost in recent weeks. Egg on my face. But yeah, it feels like with them, it perhaps has a little bit. But again, how can you have a manager who is scrapping with the opposition in the tunnel and expect him to lead you in a cool head? How do you keep your heads under pressure with that when that's your figurehead? And do we blame Brynlaw?
Well, because he trained him.
Because he trained him, yeah.
Sparring. It was mainly that media training I had.
Sorry, go
on. I love that it's that it was JB as well at the centre of this, just to pull it fully Leeds United.
Give him a new deal.
Give him a new deal. Get him a statue. Like, it's just really nice to have wound him up enough. And by the looks of the video, people have probably seen it by now. It looks like him, JB, and another of the Plymouth players is just walking quite close to the Sheffield United fans, and he takes offence to that and goes over. But I really hope that there's some really tasty bans incoming now for Sheffield United.
I think a prison sentence for Chris Wilder.
Okay.
Get that beast off the streets.
Beast.
Get that beast off the streets, cage him. Keep the public safe. Although actually changing manager at this point might do him a favour. So actually, no, leave him be.
Get Hecky back in.
Jim is asking for a 24-hour football manager if we go up. Well, first of all, let's get there first. Second of all, we can't because the building alarm comes on here at...
It's fine if you don't leave
at midnight, but it would mean we would be locked in the office. I don't think there are sensors in this room, so we could do it.
If you want to see us pissing in a bucket, might be an option.
I mean, if you want to hear the sound of a just slightly off mic man urinating in a bucket, then yes, we'll do it.
We bring a bucket in for number 2s as well.
It's gonna have to.
Oh, I forgot about that. Evacuate before we come in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about what happened in that football match, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened, didn't it?
I'm going to pull the momentum graph up just to see how. Yeah, we should have absolutely.
We did.
We should have paggered them score-wise. Yeah,
we battered them, start to finish.
Yeah,
we absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah,
and it should have been an embarrassing. At best, it should have been a comfortable defeat for them, but at worst, it could have been absolutely embarrassing because we had so many chances. The Joe Rodon one. I don't know if you got a view of this, Dan, from where you are. Because I'm right behind that goal. Came to Joe Rodon on a corner. I'd have to see it again. I swear he was a tap in at the far post and he put it back. He managed to hit it backwards. It was like, it fell to him at the far post on a corner and it ended up the opposite way. I don't know how he did it. It's like when Luke Varney did against Southampton back in the bad days where you're like, oh, all right, that's cleared, is it? Well done.
He completely shits himself in front of goal, don't he, Rodon?
I know. He was really good today because I thought him and Ampadu dealt very well with Osmajic.
Yeah.
Because he's an animal. And they just seem to...
Speaking of jail sentences.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Should have been, shouldn't he?
Oh, of course. Well.
Imprisoned for crimes.
Well, maybe.
The first thing I wrote down today was I was just overwhelmed by how sunny and excited and nervous the atmosphere was around Ellen Road.
No, I didn't think it was, you see.
Oh, I felt it.
No, you see, that wasn't as bad as Swansea. Swansea, I thought, was worse than that. What do you think? Today, I mean, it might just be my own personal feelings about it because I got it all out against Swansea, but I went in there today. It didn't feel nervous. It felt, and the players seemed more confident.
I feel like the Sun would have made it so unfair if we hadn't won. It's like, I don't ruin a nice day.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's the first proper sunny day we've had at Ellen Road in years. It felt like there must have been some, but today I turned up, I was like, oh, I got a t-shirt on. I'm too hot. This is lovely.
Yeah.
Big fan of it.
East Stand remember to take my sunnies because it's terrible for that. Although the sun was a little bit higher.
In it. But yeah, no, I think there was some nerves, but I think I felt all right going into it.
Yeah, I did as well. I felt like I let it all out against Swansea, and now we're sort of beyond rational explanation. So because I can't fully explain it, I'm just riding the wave now.
Yeah, I think having had it in our hands once and messed it up, and then you almost get it out. You felt like we got it out of our system a bit. It was like, I've already done the anger once.
Yeah.
If it happens now and we're in the playoffs, you know what? Whatever.
It didn't feel overly nervous. It just felt like it had that little crackle. You know, the Peacock Beer Garden was absolutely slammed. People were in the front of the Peacock as well in the car park drinking. As I came through the turnstiles, there were people on that tiny little grass verge in front of the East, you know, having a few beers. It just had this little crackle of excitement. And it just rode all the way through into that first goal. Fucking great finish, Solomon.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Were you right behind that?
I was right behind it. Yeah. And that was fucking mint.
As soon as you hit it, you were like, yes.
Yep.
You could, even from the cop, I was like, that's in.
I did. I actually said yes out. I'm sorry. Again, I preemptively called that one.
Yeah.
I went, yes. Yes.
It was really good. It was really good today, actually, with Solomon.
Yeah.
He was decent against Middlesbrough as well, but prior to that, we've had a bad patch. He's had a bad patch, which maybe is just, you know, the way the team has gone. But he was really good today. Got tired towards the end, I thought. He did look to be flagging after about 70 minutes.
Him or Bogle for man of the match?
Got the assist as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Solomon.
Which was a great ball.
I
was in the East Stand. I was in the East Stand, but I was the last seat towards the cheese wedge. And so Solomon whipped that ball in right in front of me. Pinpoint ball it was. I'd have scored that goal.
Yeah, it was fully
brilliant.
It was fully on a plate.
Although Joe Rodon would not have done.
No, he wouldn't. No,
he'd have cleared it off the line.
Yeah.
That seems to have been the case with the other one.
Oh, I think I go Bogle.
Bogle was all 97 minutes, wasn't he?
He was a maniac.
Just the amount of times he appeared to not have the ball.
Yeah.
And then he just all of a sudden had it. He just kept nicking it off people, and their left back was absolutely on his arse. Yeah. He was so tired. He was like falling over his own legs. He had that kind of, like, you know, when you see people at the end of a marathon and their legs are just gone and they're like all jellyish and they can't perform basic functions anymore. He was like that.
It's interesting because I said to my dad today, I said, I feel like we're missing Dan James just a little bit because every time we stuck it in behind them, we were causing them problems. We said loads of times, didn't we? Put it in behind the defenders and see what happens. But I thought Bogle really made up for it today. And something he and Solomon had in common was that they were going down the outside and they both fancied it today.
Yeah. I think had Solomon played the full match, I don't know. But yeah, just for how relentless Bogle was for the entire game, like the engine on him.
Yeah, I fancy Bogle for that.
Hugely impressive. Nonto was not great, was he? If we're gonna draw one poorer performance out of it, he wasn't terrible. I just didn't feel he was involved as much as I maybe hoped.
I didn't spot that necessarily.
You're not. I might be wrong.
Particularly first half, I thought he was getting himself involved. He was moving the ball. He was finding some space. He looked like he had the bit between his teeth a little bit.
I liked his shot.
He's more technical and football-y than, say, Dan James, who is a bit of a flat-track bully at this level, I think. I think so. Maybe you notice Dan James more because he goes in and gets in behind.
Maybe.
And Nonto wants to wander into like a semi-10 position because Bogle's going down the right, down the outside of him. I thought he was all right today.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
I mean, he was fine. He was fine. I suppose maybe I wanted him to come in and look at, I don't know, someone who's maybe been waiting for a chance for ages, which he has been. And he was fine.
Do you know what? I'll tell you who was good today as well, in an understated way, Gruev.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah, he was just in the right place a lot of the time in midfield, particularly when like Bogle had pissed off up the line. I was going to say that's tuck him behind.
That's the thing he does. You can, if you watch him as fullback, as Firpo or Bogle go forward, he adjusts his position to cover off what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it makes a massive difference to us.
I thought he was great. I think the word that sums up Gruev best is industry. Like, he passes the ball sideways and back quite a lot, but you sort of need that when you're playing with four wingers because the amount of time Firpo spends at left back is basically zero.
Yeah, and a bit of time. He was like a number 10 position again. He hit a really nice.
Firpo?
Yeah, he hit a really nice. He hit a really nice. It was him. It was the ball into Pirro, wasn't it, for one of them?
Yeah.
First half. Yeah, I think he was kind of on the right.
He's a maniac.
Yeah.
In the second half, I wrote it down 86 minutes. Where the fuck is Firpo? Because I couldn't see him. Yeah. And he was in the number 10 position. He was wandering over towards the right.
Yeah.
If you freeze it, you'd be like, that's either a right winger or a number 10 who's drifting. No, it's the left back.
Maybe he had money on a goal.
He's not. He wasn't been gambling on football, has he? No, he's been gambling on poker.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair play to him.
Pokemon.
He's been playing Pokemon Go. Is that a crime?
I don't think so.
Let the man off. Don't jail him along with Chris Wilder and Osmajic anyway.
Their goal was annoying, wasn't
it? Yeah, really annoying.
It was your classic, keep it tight after you've just scored, but you're vulnerable because you're all giddy.
Yep.
Yeah. Took the wind out of us a bit, didn't it?
Good finish, though, by the way. I was behind that.
Yeah.
Just cut in, like, oh.
Likewise, my angle happens to be behind both of them.
Lovely.
2 goals today.
It was a bit slack.
Should Firpo done better?
I think Firpo Is this right? I've got a theory.
Okay.
The cut inside goal,
yes.
the goal that Solomon scored, the goal that they scored, whatever that chump's name is, the goal that Somerville scored every week last season.
Yeah.
As a child, that wasn't a weekly goal. It's a new thing. Inverted wingers and an inability to defend people doing that cut inside, curl it into the far corner thing.
Yeah.
Back in your day.
I feel like fullbacks need to adjust to this because it happens all the time.
Yeah. Although Firpo, I think, he was caught out of position.
He was very isolated as well.
In mitigation, they did that big crossfield pass. Which their 2 tactics seem to be stick it in behind us, hit it long, or big crossfield pass. But we stopped that, I think, in particular in the second half. First half, it looked a little bit loose with them doing that, I thought.
Yeah.
But then we managed to cut out that pass, which I think was causing us trouble because it's how you isolate us, isn't it? Because the fullback obviously charges up the pitch, which leaves a big gap behind them. So they exploited it quite well.
Did you notice after our second went in, Joe Rodon ran straight to Farke?
Did he?
Yeah, I think it was Rodon. I think maybe Aronson was there too. But Rodon, like, properly just sprinted towards him to be like, can you have a word and we'll not do that again? We'll just, like, stay in the lead.
Oh, right. So it wasn't celebratory. It was like...
No, I think he was like...
Have a word.
He looked like he was going over to sort stuff out. Or whether or not he sensed a bit of a problem that needed addressing. Yeah. He was like, they're getting a bit of space in here, or I'm being isolated in this pitch position or whatever. But yeah, it was quite interesting. He just straight away went over to him. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, he's right though. Like the first thing I said when we got back in front was just keep it tight 10 minutes.
Yeah,
keep it tight 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Foot on the ball for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that second one. They I think they must have mentally realised that and gone, right, structure, lads, structure, because we are normally pretty well structured.
Yeah,
defensively. It's how we win games. Oh man, alive!
Can you see the comment there on the screen from Kevy?
Yeah,
Bogle winning a corner in the 95th. Yeah. It was a proper moment.
Did you celebrate that like a goal? I did.
And he turned, didn't he? And everyone was like, yes! Come on!
Loved it.
And Caldolo catching a ball in injury time as well. That was another one.
Yes! Come on!
Mention for Darlow. We mentioned his...
free-form goalkeeping.
His slightly poor spatial awareness when it comes to his box. But caught crosses. Made a really good save.
I didn't shit my pants every time they got a corner.
He just caught crosses.
Yeah. That's what Joel's just saying there. Darlow was class. It's nice to see a keeper who just does keeper stuff well.
Yeah. And I thought his distribution was fine as well. He kicked one out of play, but he just tried to just move it quicker.
Yeah.
Quicker.
He did a couple of fuck-ups as well where he kicked it into touch or the pass didn't quite land. Yeah. But it felt like he was more amenable to taking a risk to try and create a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That one that he chipped out to Firpo on the left over by the east.
Yeah.
And it went out or whatever, but if he'd got it, and it would have opened up a really good opportunity.
And the thing is, if you making a mistake is kicking it out for a throw-in, that doesn't give the opposition a goal, does it?
No.
Whereas if your mistakes are dropping it in front of a striker a yard from goal, it's a bit more of a problem.
I said MRD 1070 says the whole shebang is better with Darlow, feels more normal and safer. That's it. Yeah. It stopped it being a talking point.
Yeah.
Like taking him out of it.
I take Joe Rodon as like his emotions because he's always quite raw with these things. He really, really celebrated a full time. But when Darlow took that quite an early cross from a corner. Rodon went over to him and like just shouted like "yes" at him. You can see he was just thrilled to have him on the pitch. I think
those two takes that he made from corners in the first half were a really, really good bit of goalkeeping. Though.
Yeah,
like that's not simple stuff necessarily. I don't think you can chalk that up as simple goalkeeping.
Yeah,
they looked good.
Yeah, he was stretching from whereas like not just to bash Melia again, but like the Melia one against Swansea.
Yeah,
that's a catch I could make. It was straight into his hands at a really comfortable height. With Darlow Swansea, he was stretching from him, and he took him well.
And this is worth it's celebrating what Darlow's brought to the team. We don't have to, like you said, we don't have to bash Melia for it because it's just what everybody had been saying for a long time.
Yeah.
And we'd be up by now, actually, if he'd probably been replaced after Hull.
But then you'd have been robbed of today.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Well, this is the other thing as well. If that hadn't been so tight and so nervy towards the end, you wouldn't have got that release. Everybody would have cheered at full time because of what happened at Plymouth.
Yeah.
But for it to get so harum-scarum right at the end,
I mean, it didn't,
was actually added to everything.
It sort of didn't in a way, because it's not like they had any chances.
No. They had a bit of possession, though.
They did, yeah.
But it's the mental perception that this is all we need to do is slip. We saw Swansea. We got evidence of Swansea 2 weeks ago of exactly that same scoreline.
It was a very different game to Swansea, though.
Yeah.
Because Swansea got at us and were pretty successful in a lot of things. While we should have still won it, having got in the position we did, a draw was not complete robbery, was it?
No.
Whereas if they'd got a point today, it would have been scandalous.
I thought we played really well today. I thought we were moving the ball well, quick passes, finding spaces, linking up well in the number 10 position, finding passes out wide. I thought we were really good. I thought we wouldn't have been. I think 4-1 wouldn't have flattered us.
Yeah,
everything was convincing today.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me.
You're saying about them, like how dominant we were. I made a note about 69 minutes. It was their first possession they'd had for ages. And straight away, the crowd were like, "Fucking hell!"
I've got that down as well.
What are you doing? It's like, no, they've just got the ball.
Yeah.
They've just got the ball, had the ball for like 30 seconds. But everyone was like...
My dad was the same in my ear. 65 minutes, by the way, went downstairs.
Right.
Don't know when he left exactly, but 65. Yeah. So I've lost my train of thought now because I was thinking about my dad leaving at 65.
It was when I was just mentioning them having some possession.
That's it. And he's like, I don't like them having the ball. I said, but look where they're having it. Like we're quite content to let the opposition have the ball and play it in front of us and shut off passing lanes so that they are forced back. So sometimes they'll get quite far up the pitch in wide areas, but there'll be two men. Like you fall back and so let's say Solomon, if it's on this side, will come and just cut it off. And so, you send them back. So you let them have it in non-dangerous areas. But I don't think people like seeing us do that.
No.
But because we're not conceding territory, it's about where you want to defend. And then sometimes because we're not pressing like lunatics when they're knocking it around at the back, but they're doing it in non-dangerous areas.
Yeah.
You press at the right moment. But I don't think we're attuned to it because I think there's probably still that. Again, it's the Bielsa thing, isn't it? Of seeing people charging around, man for man, closing people down. And when there's so much on the line, you just like you're naturally inclined to thinking, I don't want to see this.
The stress I have with a game like that is, you should really be, and we should have done on multiple occasions, you should be adding a third goal at some point before 70 minutes. So it takes it out of the equation. But because there's a natural inclination when you get to 70 minutes and you're still in the lead to just think, right, maybe there's no more goals for us today, even though we are battering them. And it looks, for all the world, eventually we will score one of these. There is a natural bit of you that goes, all right, well, 2-1's fine. 2-1's a win. Let's just sit. But then
it gets to 93 minutes.
But then having the one goal lead and knowing it just takes one thing to go wrong.
Yeah. Deflected shot.
One shot, one like corner, they didn't do long throws actually, but a lot of teams do long throws and stuff. Yeah. And all those little things that all your worst fears, you're like, they're going to...
It felt like around about 55 minutes, from 55 minutes to about 62 minutes, Solomon hit the bar, I think, did he?
Pirro.
Was it Pirro who hit the bar? At the other end to me. Nonto had a big chance, he hit that over. And then we had loads of good possession, chances to shoot. Pirro headed wide. It felt like in that period, had we scored, it's a procession, I think.
Yeah.
But it just didn't happen and it made the crowd frustrated.
Because there's no way they'd have had 2 goals in them.
No.
I don't think. I say that as a man who once I was leading 4-1 against Preston and lose 6-4. But that wasn't the vibe really today, was it?
No.
So, it would have just completely killed it off. But at the end of the day, who cares? It's weird though, isn't it, in a week where we did actually score 3 goals at Middlesbrough. We should have scored
7
about 7 today. And, but it's enough.
It is.
It's just about enough.
There was a really funny moment in the first half. I don't know if you guys spotted this. It was about 29 minutes. We had a corner and it came out to Tanaka. and he turned and controlled it and just stood like the Terminator.
Yes, yeah.
He just stood there staring at the guy.
He stood
for
there
ages.
he stood there for long enough. I was in front of you, I presume. Yeah. He stood there for long enough that it allowed the South Stand to start singing the song about him.
Yeah.
Everyone went, Tanaka's got the ball. Right, should we...
should have cupped his ear.
Should we sing a song? And he just stood there, waited for all the stuff to move around him, didn't he?
I thought Grove was better than Tanaka today.
Yeah, I did.
But in that moment on 29, because he played all right up to that point, in that moment I thought he's got his confidence back. Because to be able to just stand stock still and wait for the shape to arrive, a non-confident person doesn't do that. They want to touch the ball. They want to find the man. But in that moment I was like, he's back, baby.
Yeah, but there's a point, wasn't there, where second half, where he threaded that ball between two players out towards Firpo, I'm going to say. Yeah. And it didn't quite land, and it allowed them to, I think, to come at us on the break. And it broke down quite quickly, but I think Farker was doing his nut with him at one point. Don't know if it was that specific chance, but I got messages saying, Farker's doing his nut at Tanaka.
Yeah. Do you want to do some dickhead ref chat?
If you want,
You've got a button, haven't you? At what point in the game...
He just puts the words, the dickhead ref on screen.
That's what it does. Was it about 10 minutes before the end, the ref decided we weren't going to get any more free kicks?
I didn't spot this.
It just felt like at one point he made a decision. He was like, there was one who was really body checked. I think it might have been Gruev was body checked, and instead he gave an offside against Pat Bamford.
Oh, yeah.
Who reluctantly chased after the ball because Gruev was on the floor in pieces. I was thinking, that's a free kick and a yellow card. Surely.
I'll be honest, for that last sort of, after Plymouth scored the first one, it's a little bit of a fever dream for me.
Yeah.
Because I was so close to the South Stand and they were having it large. The atmosphere was brilliant. It's a bit cloudy.
Yeah.
When Plymouth scored that late, you don't even dare dream of them winning it, do you?
No.
At that point, you're like, please, just let this end.
Just everything stop as it is
everything
now.
Stop. A draw down there is disastrous for them. And brilliant. Let's just have that.
There was such a brilliant moment, and again, I can't remember the precise moment it was, but we'd been defending either a corner or a free kick or some throw-ins or something, and we got a goal kick just as the South Stand had confirmed that they were 2-1 up, and it was going nuts. And Rodon turned to the South Stand and made some sort of gesture, and he was fucking pumping his fists. That's the shit you live for. I love that shit.
I think it was clear Rodon knew the Sheffield United score at full time because he really, really celebrated and seemed quite emotional at full time. So I think he knew what a big deal it was.
Yeah, well, you couldn't exactly escape it because it sort of rippled around. Rippled around the ground.
Maybe they were just thinking, this is a good atmosphere.
It's just so good. I think Bogle in his post-match described it as best atmosphere he's been in ever.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
that'll upset Wilder as well.
Yeah. maybe
he'll be on his way to Leeds to fight him.
Maybe Darko JB.
It's long way though.
Kicks it all off in the tunnel at Plymouth by eating a sandwich in front of Chris Wilder.
Yeah. The disrespect.
Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? I mean, we've not even spoken about any of the post-match stuff yet. We can probably save that. We've got a bit of extra time to come for TSB Plus members, a bit more free form chat, I suppose, is how to
some
describe.
Stuff. We've got some stuff.
Some words will pour out of my face and yours, no doubt. But I went and climbed a mountain yesterday to distract myself from the football.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, which one?
Ingleborough.
Oh yeah.
2,300 feet. That one.
Nice.
Good mountain. Second highest one in Yorkshire.
Yeah. Not all three, no.
Beautiful day.
Lazy.
No. But it was nice. It was a lovely day. The views were terrific, and I felt glad to be alive. Do you know what? I might go climb another one now. That's what I'm going to do.
We're still early.
Yeah.
We weirdly were like, why is it 3 o'clock? Because I looked at the other scores and I was like, why is no one... Oh, it's because it's 3 o'clock. No one's even playing.
I am not going to drive to Aldi this evening.
No, there's no need, is there?
No need.
If you need to go to your local one.
I'm going to get the next train from Leeds to Horton in Ribblesdale.
Straight up.
And then I'm going to run. I'm going to do the 3 peaks spinning on my cock.
No, fair enough.
That's what I'm going to do. All 3 of them.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Okay. Fine. So if anyone's wondering why I am slightly more red today, it's because I was out in that yesterday. That's why. Just to close that thought out. Man alive. And do you know what else I'm going to do?
30 on today for me.
Good lad.
I'm going to go buy a house. Do you know what I'm going to use for my conveyancing?
Is it Levi Solicitors?
It is Levi Solicitors.
Will you do it at full price?
No, fuck no. It'll be 10% discount on your legal fees. On that and their full range of services. I'm glad they let me say fuck.
Oh, God. I've just seen
that
comments just come up. Oh, God, he's evolved from impromptu Aldi trips to mountaineering.
I mean, I'll be honest, Mr. Dodo. Mountaineering is a bit of a stretch.
It's a hill, isn't it?
Although there's a vertical scramble of a good 150 feet or something like that. The face of that.
You don't need your crampons, though, do you?
Not quite.
There's no ropes and
no
carabiners and that sort of stuff.
Although I do get a vertigo, so I
very brave.
I didn't want to look backwards. I just clung to that rock face like a fucking goat.
You're a big, strong boy.
I am a big, strong boy. I'm a brave boy as well.
Very brave boy, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Before we go, I've just seen something that I wrote down on 86 minutes. On 86 minutes, I thought, fucking hell, I'm nervous, but this is great fucking fun. And it was.
It was. You're looking, as we've covered loads of times, most of football is just waiting for the end of it.
Yeah.
Like you mainly want it to be over, but it's for the payoff, isn't it? You don't get to have that celebration without the bit that goes before it.
And the prolonged celebration as well. That felt like 20 minutes worth of just fizzing.
Yeah.
That's why I can't remember the referee bottling loads of different decisions.
Same.
It's weird, I can do it on Leeds games.
I was like, I'm alive!
Just before we started recording, we watched the highlights of Sheffield United against Plymouth, didn't we? And obviously it's kind of showing the big events of the game, so you don't get the pattern of it as you do when you're watching the full thing. But it kind of reinforced to me why I shouldn't watch other teams play, because in that, Plymouth should have had a penalty, like ridiculous chokehold he's got on him. No penalty. They hit the bar when they should just put it in off a corner, and you're like, if I'm watching that, I feel like my head's gonna burst.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, just being able to just go, oh, it's 2-1. It's quite nice and relaxing. But I don't want that with Leeds, because I could just check results at the end of the season.
Finding out those scores today, that wasn't relaxing. That was elating.
Yeah.
Hearing that whisper ripple around the crowd. There's a little lad in front of me who had FOTMob out, and he had signal for some reason. And he kept turning around and showing me. Oh my God.
He must be in the Freemasons or something if you're getting the 4G.
I occasionally get it on 5G, but it's just completely luck of the draw. Sometimes I had to turn my phone off and on again.
Yeah, I did that. Flip it between aeroplane mode on and off, and sometimes you get like a second to put a massive amount of money on the opposition. It's hard to do.
Did you feel like you were going to faint at any point today? I did at full time.
Yeah, a few bits.
Yeah,
my head went.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It's really good, isn't it?
Just going, yes, at full time.
But this is what I've been talking about, right?
Fuck off.
No, we have to know
I
that.
know that. Stop being right.
We have to know that there is lows and appreciate the lows so that this feeling makes sense.
Yes, but as we said earlier, we're just going around in circles now. I'm not going to appreciate the lows while they're lows. I'll appreciate them afterwards.
You got to clock them though.
Sorry about everything I said before and having a breakdown 2 weeks ago. Yes, fine.
You got to clock them.
If anything, you should have been more upset because you've not been right down to the bottom of Aldi like this man has, and now he's up a mountain. Yeah. He was on the floor in the freezer department.
I was in Death Valley, metaphorically speaking.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, isn't it?
Swimming downwards, baby.
Big bottom of the bottom of the sea.
Correct. Isn't that a sauce?
No.
The deepest bit of the planet.
Mariana Trench is up by the Philippines. Fucking. Come on.
Oh yeah, geography degree.
Yeah. It's all coming well. Got to come through now, hasn't it?
Got myself a Desmond from Newcastle Poly. Come see me for your geography chat. Right, now listen, we're going to wrap it up there. Just to answer the question that Meatloaf is asking, as a subscriber, does extra time just come on in the match ball when it drops later, not live? Yes, that's right. We'll carry on recording in the background after the stream goes off and just debrief this shite.
Yes.
Yeah, sorted.
Great stuff. Give Levi Solicitors some love. Thank you very much. We probably mangled the read right at the start of the show. And we'll exit the match ball proper right there and say thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our absolute fucking nonsense. It was great today, wasn't it? Absolutely mint. Come on. I just love it. It's great. Check out the audio version for some extra time after this. And if you want to become a member, thesquareball.net/plus. Oh my God, propaganda is going to be great. We'll see you in a...
The Match Ball.